Right. So regarding the flow charts, yeah, we went to the place like we went to the flow chart up to this particular point, right? So the next one is the question number 6, I guess, right? So where you are going to find two if conditions, right? And that particular if condition, according to my flow chart, which I have drawn here, it is in the no path, right? So we have written the pseudocode. So we have use and else if. So it's the very same way that they use the else if in the Pascal. The only difference is like we didn't do in the didn't do end if in the if condition of Pascal. In the very same way, we are not going to do the end if parts in the Pascal code as well when we are using the if and else ifs, right? So other than that, the code goes in the very same manner, right? So nothing is going to change, right? So if the condition will be there, then is there. So without brackets, we are going to write the conditions, and else if goes the same way, else and a if, right? So let me show you a coding example where they have use it right over here, right? So they have taken this marks find in program where the marks will be entered and then find in what is the result. So to there, you can see this flow chart has continued in the no part, right? So if it is continued in a no part, so definitely it's going to be an else if. If it is continuous in the yes part, it is going to be one if inside another if. It's not going to be an else if, right? So since it is continuing on the no part, so goes to, well, it's going to flow in the else if manner. So they have start the program with some name, right? And they have introduced or like initialize m and grade as integer and char variables, right? So then they begin the program, ask for a number and read that particular number into m, and then they check if m larger than or equal 75, then they assign a value to the grade variable, right? Then else is there. It's not just else. With that else, there is a if underneath it, right? So else, if, and the condition. Then grade colon equal b. So that belongs to this particular if statement.
So, sir, the semicolon will come to the last step.
Yes, as we talked in the last time, so to recognize the block, like to recognize the starting point and the ending point of the block, they only use the semicolon, right? So like in every if structure, if keyword is going to be the starting point and the semicolon, the next semicolon that you are going to find will indicate the end of the if structure, right? So you won't be fine like you can't see any semicolons like any of these statements at the end of these statements, but at the last else, after the last else, you are going to have a semicolon to indicate, okay, whatever it is start from here ends over here. Got that? People, just confirm. How was it? Okay. Right. So with this example, we can go for our examples as well. So let's quickly go through that. So now you got the pseudocode with you. So write the Pascal program for the question number 6. Right, start writing it, as well as you can write it for question number 7 as well. So it is something very similar to the program that you can see on your book, right? So start doing it, right? First 6, then the 7. I'm going to code the program by 320, right? So yes, Duragi, the 6th one that you need to do. So first 6th one, then you can go for the 7th one. Yes, Minul, that's correct. Very good.
So can you go down a bit for the pseudocode of the seventh question?
Okay. Right. So I'm going to do the sixth one. Right. So let me zoom this. All right. So my program name is, I'll take that as test program. So input, comma, output will be there. Right. So semicolon. And I only need a one particular variable. So N1 is enough for me. Right. So then I wrote a write ln to take the number, and I'm reading it like the value which is given by the user to the N1, right? So then after, I'm going to do the if and else if things. So then I'm going to check if N1 equals to 0. Then I'm going to say, so write ln this is a 0. Right, if it does not working, so else is there, and another if is there. So I'm going to ask if n1 larger than 0, then I need a write ln. So
Does indentation matter here?
didn't get you,
So does indentation matter here? Like will they be reduced?
it's I think it's not. I think it's not. Right? Let's say whether it's going to be a problem. Within Python, it definitely does. Right. So I took this. So the first if, check in whether the number is equal to 0, then it says this is a 0. Else it checks whether it is larger than 0. So then it says number is larger than 0. Otherwise, we say number is less than 0. So let's here no semicolon. Right. So I have start the if condition from here and end in by putting this semicolon to the end. Right. So I'm going to run. So it is asking to enter number. So I'm entering 10.
So answer one reading is enough, right? In the
Yeah. Like I got that problem. Like one reader was not sufficient with some programs. That's why I maintain in two. I'm still reading why actually it caused that particular thing. So like for your program, you don't need any read elements, right? So it is just charm Pascal thing that we have to put a read element to hold the screen, right? You don't need that the very last read elements, right? So it says number is larger than 0. And if I run it again and put a 0, it says this is a 0. And if I run it, oh, I got a syntax error. If I run it and give -10, number is less than 0 is given. So the program is correct. So people who have done the mistakes, so just go through, right? Others, you can rush into the question number 7.
so what's that thing on the right top corner? What's that thing on the right top corner? Like it shows workspace.
Oh, what thing you mean? You mean the code?
No, the code is like again shown in the right top corner, near file.
Right top. What you mean? You mean this?
Yes, yes.
It's just a preview. I think like this particular thing, just kind of a thumbnail kind of a thing. Right. So I'm showing you the question number 7, the flow chart and the pseudocode. So I'll start writing this by 3:33. Now it is 3:27. Right. Let me do the question number 7. Is there anyone still completing it? Do you need time? Let me know if anyone is completing it yet. All right, so let's go. Right, so we need the marks and we are going to show the grades, right? So I'm going to change this variable into marks, like mark, right? So still I should have this program, the program name and input output within the brackets, separated by a comma. Then I introduce the variable mark in the integer type and begin, and I'm asking for a mark. So enter a mark, should be there. So that mark will be read to the mark variable, right? And then we are going to compare, right? So the mark, this time it's larger than or equal 75. Then what we are going to write is, we are going to write grade A, right? It's better we put a colon, then it says grade is A.
So for the equal sign, we should put equal. You
Which
can't put that
equal?
line.
Like you mean like instead of the colon, like put in the equal?
No,
No
no,
problem.
no. Near mark greater than or equal to 75.
Yeah, greater than or equal to 75. Then what are you suggesting, Minul?
That's like that line you can't put in like greater than or there's a line for it. Instead of equal, when we write the pseudocode, we wrote the line.
Yeah, like which is under the angle bracket. We won't
Yes.
be. Yeah, we can't write that because we don't have any character. So we have to write on this manner, right? Like if they ask you to write the Pascal code, it must be in this particular format, right? If you put the line under the angle bracket, it's going to be a wrong operator because there is no operator like that. Got it, Mule?
Yes, sir.
Right, then else if mark is larger than or equals 65, then the right ln is going to be B. So this is going to be another else if, and the mark is going to be larger than 55. So this is going to be C. And we need another else if. This goes 45. Then the final one, it is the final one, right? A, B, C, S, and W, it says it's a 35, right? Okay. Then after the else, we don't need this. This is going to be W. So we are going to end the semicolon from here, right? So my if starts from here and it goes until here. Right, so this should work. Let's see. Right, so I write. So they're asking for a mark. I'm giving 80, which is larger than 75. So it says grade A. And I run it and I give 70, grade B. And I run 60. Yeah, that is grade C. Then we run it for 50. It's the grade S we receive it. Then we try something 34. Grade W. Yeah, so it is on that manner, right? So if anyone got anything wrong, right, just go it through. And if you got any questions, just ask me, right? So it is the Pascal programming code that we are writing. Right, if you are done with it, let's go to the iteration. Is there anyone still writing this? Indicate me. No, okay. Right, so moving to the next part. Yeah, before we move to the iteration, there is something called case. as well, the case statement. So case statement, remember, the case statement works like an if, like a if condition, right? So it search for the case, it execute once, and it's over, right? Okay, so the case statements are used like this. So according to this particular example, again, that is something similar to our example as well. They are going to purchase, or I'm sorry, they are going to check the marks according to the given range, right? But here they have used a new structure called case. So case structure starts with a case keyword, then marks, that means the variable which is caught from the which codes the marks of the user, right? Then of keyword is there. So if you are going to use the case tool, you should start from the case tool, then what you call the variable that you are going to deal with, and then the of keyword. And then after, this is important. Now, inside the case tool, you have to deal with, like you have to specify a range with 2 dots, right? So that's why 0 double dot 34 is there. 35 double dot 49 is there. Right, so it goes on that manner, right? And you have to be very sure, like that one you are ending from the previous case section or the case statement, the next one should start with the immediate next, what we call the range starting point, right? Then only you will be able to tackle the entire thing, right? So like I want you to write the case structure, right, for the example that we have done. Finally, this one, right? So for it, that is question number 7. So just match the things with your textbook, so you will be easeful regarding this, right? So try. I'll give you another 5 minutes. 3:44. Let's say it's 3:45. So I'm coding this by 3:50.
So we should do this, the cases.
Yes, Minul.
So we should do the case statement.
Yeah, you should do the case statement for this example. Question number 7. The one we for this flowchart. And people, I want you to have your concentration right over here. When they are giving the range, always remember this double dot is there, because double dot is the one which defines the range, right? Right, we got another 1 minute. If you need more time, let me know. Yes, everyone. How about the programming with case tool? Okay, let's code it. Right, so I'm going to write the same thing. And again, people, I really miss to say that how we are going to put a comment uh, in the what you call the Pascal programming. Right now, comment can be used. Like if I take your concentration to your textbook, it was there on the first example that we used. So this one, the curly braces, right? So curly braces will indicate the comments and it won't be a part of the program, right? So that is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a comment from this if right up to here. It went for the multi-line comment. Hold on, let me check. Right, okay. So using the double slash, also we can comment it. Now, commenting means it won't be a part of the program anymore, right? So if I run this program, like I won't be getting any output. So I will give the 60 and press enter. So nothing is happening, right? So the way of using the case tool. So we ask for a mark.
So what's the use of using a comment?
Like the comments. Minul, you're asking about the comments.
Yes.
So like we can use the comments when we are using the complex codes to describe it, right? Because like when it comes to the programmers, when they code the things, that particular code is not going to use only by them. Like it will be like passed into many different like people, like from programmer to the software engineer to the architecture to the quality assurance engineer. So it will travel through many different individuals. So in that case, if they need a clarification, we can put a comment and say, this is why I wrote this. So the person who reading the source code will have the idea, okay, that but this particular statement is used to do this particular thing, right? So they will have that idea. That is why comments are there, right? So
that means when several people code one specific.
come again, several.
Like when several people code parts of the program.
Yeah. In that case also, so if people like one particular program being divided in more different programmers, so they will do their part and integrate it. එතනදිත් ඕන වෙනවා. And again, if one particular person programmer code කරලා, then he will send it to the testing part for the quality assurance and the approval part for the architectures and software engineers, right? So many individuals can use that, right? Refer that, right? So when it is referring, they should have like if there are any complex part, then මේ වගේ එකක් බැලුවොත් නම් comments ඕන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ටක් ගාලා බැලුවම තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. But when the program get complex, right? Complex and okay, again, like when you come to the industry, code goes like sometimes it goes like 100 to 1,000 lines, right? When the program is getting complex, right? So in that case, comments are very valuable, right? Okay, cover to bit here. I'll come, Mike, right? Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to use the case statement. So in the very same way, we are going to use the case, and the variable that we use is the mark. So we use that variable, then we say off, right? Then we come to the sorry, case mark off. Hold on, is it not allowing us to go forward without this thing? I don't think so. Hold on. Case mark off. Yeah. So then we have to give the ranges. So when it comes to the ranging, you should be very careful. So this should be 100 double dot 75, right? And yeah. Oh, just a second. Range incremental විදිහටම we'll see. Right. So then I'm going to write a len. I'm going to copy the same write ln right over here. Yes. And high range. Yes. So this matters. Now people just concentrate on what this says about the error. right? Let me see, take the magnifier and show it to you, right? So this is the error. High range limit less than low range limit, right? So that means now when you are giving the range, it should come the lower range, that means 75. Then at the right side it should be the highest number. So that means in this case it's going to write like this: 75 double dot 100, right? And what it says, the constant and case type do not match. Let me see. Yeah, we'll see, right? And here I'm going to say the lower range, that means 55 double dot 64. I'm sorry, should goes the other way around. It's 74 from 65. So let me copy this. Can go with the else part. So this is going to be C. It's going to be D. Not D, it's S. And the range is going to go from 55 to 64. And this should goes from 35 to 54. And in there, we can use the else. And we can just write ln, do a write ln. And this is going to be W, right? And we need a separate end as well, right? Because as you can see, here they use a end. So case starts from here, and from here to here, it's the case structure, right? So if none of these ranges affects, so then else executes. Now in my example, මෙයාගේ grade එක ආවේ නැති වුණොත් එන්නේ නැති තැනදී මම පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ what you call the W, right? Yes. So from 75 to 100, it's grade A. 65 to 74, grade B. 55 to 64, grade C. 35 to 54, grade S. If none of these happens, comes up with this, right? So let me take this up here and I'm going to run it. So enter mark, I'm entering 80. So it's grade A, right? And if I enter 70, it's grade B. And if I enter 60, it's grade C. And if I enter 50, it's S. And if I enter 20, it's W. Right? So this is how the case works. So case starting from there and ends with the end keyword. Like that end belongs to the case. Right? May antimen එක නෙවෙයි තියෙන්නේ. Okay, people just confirm whether you are okay with the case statement or not.
So the main use is that it's more efficient than coding.
You mean that the case one?
Yes.
Yeah. But sometimes there are things that we can't achieve with the case. අපිට string එකක් compare කර යන්න තිබුණා නම් එහෙම ටිකක් අමාරුයි වැඩේ. මොකද මේක range එකක් එක්කනේ වැඩ කරන්නේ. Right? වචනයක් compare කර යන්න තිබුණා නම් එහෙම පොඩ්ඩක් it's going to be something hard. And Dulagi duwa, right, okay. I think I have answered that. Yes, Onetra, no problem. You can change the order in any in any way you want. You can make a පිළිවෙලටම ලියන්න කියලා නීතියක් නැහැ. Like you can write 6574 at the beginning, then 7500 next, 5564 as the third line. So you can mix it up. Doesn't matter.
So what's that last line in the textbook where it gives a range?
Which you mean like with this one?
In the textbook, the last line in the...
Yeah. Like in the textbook, it says like here what they have. I'll tell you what has happened in here. So like when the valid range is here, it gives the value to the variable called grade. Here they are not displaying anything. They are just assigning a value to the grade variable. So in here, they just ensure the entered mark are within the range because the metana megalo argan තියෙනනේ මේ right element එකක් invalid marks කියලා. So like that means to this program, someone can enter a value larger than 100 or less than 0. So if something happens, the output is going to give you as invalid marks. If the marks are invalid, this right element is not going to execute. That is what they have done with this if statement. They check whether the given value is within 0 and 100. Got it, Minul?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So people, think I didn't have the confirmation. Is that okay, everyone? I need the confirmation. The case. Right, okay. How about others? If you are not clear with, let me clear it to you again. If you want to repeat it, I'll repeat it. No worries. Yeah, okay. Vihasna, how about you? Right. Okay, so if you want to do any amendments, so just go through it. I'll give you 2 minutes. Then we are going to do the repetitions. Okay, Dulagi, that's great. Yes. Yeah, Dulagi, in your code, like you can't end the else part without anything, දුව. ඔයාට අවශ්‍ය නම් else එක නැතුව වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන් දුව. දැන් මම මෙතන else එක අස් කරොත්, like if I comment this, right, දැන් මට else එකක් නැහැ, but still this works. මගේ grade W කියන එක මගේ එන්නේ නැහැ. So according to your example, do just omit the else word, like cut down the else. So it is perfect. Or else keyword එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා නම් there should be at least one statement, right? Right on here. Otherwise, don't use else. Right? Or if එකේ වගේම තමයි. Right? Right. Okay. So let's move to the repetitions. So when it comes to the repetitions, there are 3 things that you need to know when it comes to the Pascal. So you can do the repetitions using for do loop. We name it as a counting loop, right? So for do loop is working in an incremental manner as well as into a decremental manner. වැඩි වෙන විදිහටයි අඩු වෙන විදිහටයි වැඩ කරනවා. So that's the for do. And there is another one called while do, or like do while, right? While do කියලා මේ කියන්නේ. And there is another one called repeat until, right? So මේ තුන් දෙනාගෙන් the most common one is going to be the while do, right? And for loop and repeat until, they are like they have some constraints, like, or they have some limitations for you to use, right? All right, so first let's look into the for loop, right? So for loop, they have introduced you the two methods. So the structure is going to be like for over here, the keyword, and you should use a variable which is going to act the incremental manner. Then ඔගොල්ලෝ counter එකක් පාවිච්චි කරානේ pseudocodes වල. So counter is counting in an incremental manner. First C is 0, then C is 1, then C is 2, then C is 3. So it is increasing one by one, right? So for that kind of things, we can use the for, right? So the for keyword is there, variable name, then the initial value, like the starting value, then to keyword, then the ending value, and do should be there, right? So this is the way they have used that, for x colon equal 1 to 5 do. So there will be a variable called x, which will start from 1 and goes up until 5, right? So x value will be increased per iteration, right? So for එක යටතේ ඊළඟට for එකට අයිති වෙලා අපි ලියන statements ටික එක සැරයක් සිද්ධ වෙනවා, then x will get increased, then it happens again, then x will get increased. So 1 to 5, so like 1 2 3 4 5, so 5 times x will get increased. That means the iteration happens for 5 times, right? So we'll do the examples. And yeah, so here in the example that they have used the count variable, which is an integer. So they say for count colon equals it's 1, then 2, 10, then do. So they are asking you to write ln count, just one particular line. So what will happen? So this is the coding part which is going to execute. So it will start the for loop. So first for the count, it will print 1, then goes up again, count will be increased to 2. So then it will print 2, then goes up again, count will be increased to 3, then it will print 3. So likewise, it's going to continue. Yeah, Dulagi, yeah, okay. So Dulagi, we were talking about the for do loop, the incremental manner, right? Or to how we are going to use it in the increase in manner. So the first method. So the syntax is like you use the for keyword, then the variable name. So we assign a value that will be the initial value, the starting value, then to, and we says the what is going to be the ending value. And then after, the do keyword will be there, right? So these are the examples that they have used, like for x colon 1 to 5 do. So x is starting from 1, goes until 5. So increasing will happen per iteration. Again, repeat right? So in the example, the program, so they have written this program to print the numbers from 1 to 10. So it is done by the for loop in a very easy manner. So they just introduce, or like they initialize a variable called count, which is in the integer type. And they said for count 1 to 10 do. Then inside the for loop, they just ask to write ln count. So what will happen is, for the very first time, count's value is 1. So write ln count will print 1. Then since this is an iteration structure, when it comes to the end of the for loop, it goes again and increase the value until it meets the highest. So 1 will become 2, then this will print 2. Then it goes up again and increase. So count will become 3. So this will print 3 on the screen. So likewise, it will increase from 1 to 10. So once the count is 10, still it goes and print 10. Then when it goes to the for loop, it will see, okay, 10 is the highest value that it can increase. So the iteration stops, right? Got it, Dulagi? And others as well? Just confirm whether you clear with it or not. Right. And remember people, so for loop, now ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙනවා ඇති for loop එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ මේ එකක් increase වෙන එකක්. දැන් ඔයගලන්ට වචන පාවිච්චි කරලා iterate කරන්න කිව්වොත් මොකක් හරි එකක මේ වැඩේ කරගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. right? දැන් අපි program එකක් ලිව්වා වගේ මට මතකයි 0 enter කරාම 0 enter කරනකම් iterate වෙන්න. එහෙම එකක් අපිට මේ count එකෙන් manage කරගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. right? So it is specific. When you are having a counting part, you can use for loops, right? So this is the second method. So it is there is no major difference. Like the only difference that it has is this goes from top to bottom, right? So since it is going top to bottom, like after the for keyword, variable declared and the highest value is given for this, that will be the starting value, and this time it's not 2 but they use down to, right? So from top to bottom, down to this particular value, then do. So if says if x 10 down to 5, that means 10 9 8 7 6 5. So 6 times it will get executed, right? 10 ඉඳලා 5 කිව්වට 5 සැරයක් නෙවෙයි වෙන්නේ. 10 ඉඳලා 5 කිව්වම 10 9 8 7 6 and 5 will happen. So repetitions there are 6 times, right? So be very careful, right? So the same thing, the same program, they have modified it to print the values in the descending order, like from 10 to 1, right? So the way they have used it, like 4 count 10 down to 1, right? So for per each iteration, they ask to write, or like they ask to print the value of the count. So for the very first time, count is 10. So the second time, count is 9. Next iteration, count is 8. So likewise, it will go until count becomes 1. Right? So that is the 2 ways of for loop that is going to work inside the Pascal. Right? So let me see your iterations, whether you can use the for loop easily. Yes. Now, yeah, we can use this particular example with the for loop. So it is asking, like, draw a flowchart to display 10 names which are given by the user one at a time, right? So you enter a name and it will get displayed again, right? So that particular thing can be used with the for loop as well, right? So what we can do is we can write the code like this. Let me clear these things. Yes, so I will introduce the count as an integer. So my motive is to take a name and display it, right? So what I'm going to do is, like, for count colon equals 1 to 10, I say, then do, and not down to, right? Then I'm asking, like, now there are 2 things I need to do. Like, first I need to ask for a name. So write ln, I'm asking for a name. Enter a name. And then I'm going to read it And if I need to read that, I need another variable. Otherwise, I won't be able to take the name. So I have to declare another variable called name, and I'm saying it is a string, right? So then I'm going to print this. I'm going to write in this thing. Name given is, then I say name, right? Now there will be a syntax error, people. I'll tell you why, right? So now I need all three things, all three lines to be inside the for loop. Can namak illanna ඕනේ, nama read karaganna ඕනේ. Then after I'm going to show the name. So all three things should happen per iteration. So for 10 numbers, right? So let me run this and see. Let's see whether it goes to, oh, see, this is going to be my output. Enter name, enter name, enter name, enter name. So it is because this read is not recognized as the part of the for, right? The reason is, if we are going to write a one single line, the very next line after the for will be taken into the for by assuming that particular line belongs to the for. But if we need to tell the Pascal, even these two are belongs with for, we have to use another begin and end inside the for loop, right? So it is going to be this kind of a begin and end. So I'm going to cut it from here. I'm going to put it right over here. Right, so let me run this now. Now it asks enter a name. So I'm going to enter a name, Saman, and I'm pressing enter. Ah, yes, I don't have a reader. See, so Saman is given. So if I give Tilina, name given is Tilina, then it is asked for another name. Now I'm getting Geeta, name is given is Geeta, then enter a name. So likewise, it will goes for 10 times. And then A, B, C, it goes for 10 times. That ends, right? So remember this, make a pick up වෙනස්. මොකද අපිට iterations ඇතුලේ even if එකක් ඇතුලේ වුණත් මේ දේ කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපේ කලින් examples වල අපි කතා කරේ there's only one line belongs to the if block. if එකක් ඇතුලේ එක line එකයි තිබුණේ. If you are going to write more than one line inside the if, you need this begin and end block to indicate this is the part of this particular thing, right? තේරුණාද?
Yes.
Right, okay. How about others? Okay, right. So I want you to write this for the as the Pascal code for the example, and we'll try the repetitions by next week, and most probably we will be able to end the coding by next week, right? So ලියා ගන්න මගේ ගෙවල් පැත්තට නම් ටිකක් අද හුලඟකුත් එක්ක වැස්සකුත් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. I don't know how about yours, right? So write it. So once you are done, I'm going to end the session, right? So thank you very much, people. So the screen will be here. So you just write it and you can disconnect, right? Right, okay, Saran. So you can leave, Huda, no problem. Thank you very much. So if you are done, then you can leave, no problem. Thank you very much. Right, okay, Dulagi. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Good night.
Okay, Minul. Okay, Onetra, thank you.